I'm Laval Bryant-Quigley, and I am the Director of Community Engagement and Partnerships at Brooklyn Museum. I grew up across the street from Brooklyn Museum at the age of 12. My mom had an intentionality from moving us from Harlem to across the street from the museum to have more proximity to the arts, actually. And the first gallery that I went into was in ancient Egypt. It was actually a satchel of braids, but it was in 1500 BCE, and it was from Nephiro, Queen Nephiro I. And it was the first moment that I seen myself in the arts, the first moment that I seen impact when it comes to the connections between encyclopedic institutions and how it can connect to today in these moments of me getting my hair braided as a child. And it obviously had an impact on me because I ended up working in the arts there. And it actually was the backstory of my life. Being in a place that is like Brooklyn, it is so much diversity. So for me, it's important for people to be connected to their histories, also to share living narratives as well too, to be a part of our conversations with curators, with myself and community engagement, and also to activate programming in a co-created space.
My name is Dr. Mwenda KudumuBiggs. I'm the VP of Community Service and Engagement at the Fleet Science Center in beautiful Balboa Park, San Diego. The Fleet's been co-creating with community for the past 12 years. And we have a particular focus in neighborhoods that have traditionally been left out of the riches and out of the opportunities of STEM. Community is very important to the Fleet Science Center. It's important to us because our mission is to realize a San Diego where everyone is connected to the power and opportunities of science.
We are a cultural institution in the space outside of the art. It was intentional for us to make sure that we were removing access barriers. And I'm working on this new format called Museum on Wheels, which is a 25-foot Airstream. It's a malleable space, and we also made sure that we engage the neighborhoods and the zip codes that weren't coming to the museum so we can really have an understanding of what it means to form community in a space like Brooklyn.
Basically, we work with scientists to talk to the community. So public engagement in science is really important. When we're all included in the voice in science, when we're all doing something and being a part of science, then science, STEM, technology, engineering, mathematics, it is all useful for humanity. It's our mission for our science centers everywhere, public engagement and public understanding of science, right? But how do we get the public to understand and see scientists as real people? I love this one program that we have. It's over 10 years old now, and it's called Two Scientists Walked Into a Bar. So put a beer in their hand, send them to a bar, and they have a little button that says, I'm a scientist, ask me anything. And people just come up to them, and sometimes we take those interactives and those scientists out into community festivals, and they talk about their science in an interactive way so that the public can understand it. We're here because the community wants us to be here. And so taking a real understanding of that and listening to what your community partners want to do and understanding instead of coming in with a pre-described notion of what it should be or where we should go. But really knowing that co-creation means that we're going to develop something together. It's a space for all of us so that we can all feel like we belong, right?
You have to understand who your audience is. You have to understand their needs, rather inside and outside of the museum, and get out and have conversations. We realize within community that it's not a monolithic thing that people are practicing. Within community, it's not a living thing unless it's two or more. So you do have to make sure that you're engaging with people and having listening sessions and going out and hearing what your obligation as an institution is. Once you have conversations, you can really start to mold what a social impact framework can look like in partnership with the community and have measurement of your goals. It can be in proximity of the space that you're at, but it could also be in representation of identity, of race, of culture. Art is a critical necessity when it comes to making sure that people feel transformation, feel embraced in their space, and see themselves in art in the way that I did at the age of 12.
When you realize that everything you do and participate in, that when you think about it in a systematic way and you go about it in a way where you're trying to understand and you're tweaking it a little bit and changing it a little bit, then you're engaging in the scientific processes that scientists do every day. You know, your connection to science is strong, and understanding that it is in every field, right? And so once you feel connected, then it really can help with STEM identity, right? Your identification with science and technology, engineering and math, in a way that it supports it happening in our environment. It supports it happening in our political field. It supports museums and cultural spaces for all of us, for our children and for our families, and for connections and coming together. And then you begin to bond with, you know, the human family.
Want more museum content? Don't go anywhere. Just click the link right here to watch all of our content from AAM TV 2025. Have fun.